Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So sorry for the delayed post here recently. New meds got me really just kind of losing all my motivation recently. Trying to do better about it. New formats coming. It's getting me more pumped. Hopefully I can get more content out for you guys. Let me know what you want to see and I will get it to you. Today we're covering my favorite deck of the format. Now this might not be the best or anything like that, or even very well loved, but Yellow Hybrid, it still is super loved by me. I'm just a big security control player fan as it is, so any way I can work into some sort of Yellow Hybrid security control, I still want to try my best, and I still think this deck has plenty of opportunity to pop off for this format. With what we have going on for this format, I think it's going to be in a really good place. Also, don't forget to check out our Etsy page. Link in the description below. We have all of our memory markers there available. We've got a new one coming out this month, which is going to be Starmons, so make sure you're on the lookout for that. I think it's posted already, as well as all of our Battle Ready Inc. merch is there as well. Alright, so right here, pulled up for you guys, I have the whole deck so you can kind of see what we're going with here. I am sticking with the Shakuamons for our level 5 package, just for that great recovery. We love to do recovery in this deck, and one of the ways that we're going to kind of mitigate this this really big Evo cost here is I'm going to up the number of Karis in this format, so we're kind of streamlining our Tamers a little bit more this format. More expensive Tamers, but I think it's going to be okay because they're all super impactful and really powerful. So let's go ahead and do this card by card. We are 51 cards, and that's because the Atomic Inferno at the end, I just want to talk about it. It was a big staple in JP, but I don't think it will be anymore, and we'll get to why when we get to that point. So first up, of course, we're running our Digimon and Guilmon package just for the crazy amount of draw power. If you played this combination already, you know the crazy draw power. You get 1 for evoing, and then you get 2 more when you attack, so that's 3 draws off of this. And if it survives the security check, oh my god, it's the best feeling ever when Guilmon survives security check, because then it's either the opponent A has to swing over him, which in that case, it's like, okay, he's basically a security card at that point because he's taking a hit for you, or B, they don't kill him and he gets to swing again for 2 more draws and a second security check. With our Tai and Karis, he actually can survive way more likely. Now, it's still unlikely, but it is possible with the Tai and Karis, basically buffing him up to 10,000 DP, if you want to look at it like that. So pretty cool. Love Guilmon. Next is our 2 Yellow Hybrids, of course, which we're running. What makes me want to stick to Yellow Hybrid is the fact that I can place out these Tamers, and my Tamers are essentially me playing a rookie. I get these nice on-play effects, or just all kinds of neat effects in general, and they just continuously provide me use until I'm ready to Evo on top of them with my level 4 and get aggressive. And so just imagine being able to play out a rookie and then having that rookie be super protected. It's basically what your what Tamers are for Yellow Hybrid. So only the 8 level 4s here, and then we've got 5 level 5s. Of course, the one of Jet Sylphie still, because it's like the best card ever. There's a reason it's at 1. But to make up for our lost Jet Sylphies, I am still sticking with the Shakuamons here. Now, a lot of people have switched over to the Rise package, but I feel like I really like the recovery. I'm a big fan of it. If you have 5 or fewer security, recovery +1, that's fine, because this will be the first target we Evo into, so we'll always be at 5 or less, so we Evo into this. He'll recover, boom, we're at 6, and now we're good. So it's pretty solid, and then how we're going to mitigate that is, of course, the Karis down here of when a card is added to security, you can suspend her to gain a memory. So it makes this Evo really cheap when you work at it like that. You know, you can bring it down to like Jet Sylphie standards just about. So, but, you know, 2 Evo Shakuamon for a recovery, I'm all about it. And then the inheritable here, don't overlook it. When attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3,000 DP for the turn. You know, that does come up, okay? Maybe not to swing over something necessarily, but to kill rookies off, it's pretty solid. Now, I have a 2-2 split here because I can't figure out which way I want to lean towards. I am leaning towards the Maid mode as a 3 of and the Venus at a 1 of, but also I really just want to use one of each artwork, the regular art and the alt art of both of these cards. So that might just get me because of that alone, but I really love Sakuyamon Maid Mode, one of the most gorgeous looking cards ever printed in this game. This one, and as well as the alt art, look incredible. But if you're not familiar with this thing is nuts. So the win attacking is completely irrelevant for this deck. When we talk about a Sakuyamon deck, that'll become relevant. What we're using it for here is the win digivolving. You may use an option card with plugin in its name, or a yellow option card with a memory cost of 5 or less from your hand, ignoring color restrictions and without paying its memory cost. So what it means by it's got to be yellow but ignore color is like if it's a duo color, so a red yellow. It's yellow but it's also red. You could ignore the red aspect of it if you don't have it like your babies out or anything like that. So that's what it means by ignoring the color. But main thing is, without paying its memory cost, then after using the option card, instead of trashing it, place it on top of your security stack face down. Most of you already kind of know where this is going. Sunrise Buster here is a 5 play cost yellow. Ignore the red because of her effect here. Lets you play out a Tamer for free, and then for every Tamer you have in play, minus 3,000 DP onto a target. Huge, okay? Absolutely huge. So I get to play a 5 cost option for free whenever I Evo for a 3 memory here. 3 memory Evo, play a 5 cost option. Play a 4 cost Tamer, okay? And then delete something. And then put that option into security, which essentially is recovering, and for the cases of this, recovering an option card that we absolutely love, because then it's going to get hit in security again. We get to play out another free Tamer, which is then we're going to get to delete something else. I mean, 2 deletes, a recovery, 2 Tamers off of 1 Evo, 1 Sakuyamon Evo. This card is absolutely nuts. I don't know how this card even exists, honestly. It just feels insanely good. Next up, we got Venusmon, though, which is basically our skill drain for you Yu-Gi-Oh fans out there. 4 Evo cost is a lot, but when digivolving, all of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack -1 until your opponent's turn ends. This is really relevant because the way it's worded is it's everything, okay? Even if they play something new, if they promote up at a raising, they DNA digivolve, whatever the case may be, it will still have security attack -1. And that big one there is that Joggerous DNA, because usually it wipes the stats. Not in this case, because of Venusmon's wording is no matter what comes into play, whether it be hard play with rush, anything, gonna have security attack -1. That's huge. Okay, that's just gonna keep you alive. And then on your opponent's turn, your opponent's Digimon with security attack, whether that be plus or minus, can't attack this Digimon, and when digivolving and when attacking effects of those Digimon don't activate. We talk about Black War Greymon being in a really good spot this format because it doesn't have to deal with Yellow Hybrid. Like, Yellow Hybrid put Black War Greymon on the back burner. I still think that if we're able to make Shakuamon work, that this deck will still be a fantastic way to deal with all the decks of the format. But it's heavily reliant on Shakuamon being able to bring up the deck from the loss of Jet Sylphie. But Venusmon being able to turn off Black War Greymon plays, that's huge. Turns off the Shoutmon decks, okay, all that rush stuff that they like to do, turning off all that so they have security attack -1, can't get those rushes in. Venusmon, a fantastic meta counter card for this format. Really good stuff. And then we've already talked about, again, Maid Mode is also great. Both of these megas, absolutely the most incredible megas, yellow megas we've ever had. Moving on, though, we've got Death Exmon, which is still just a great card. Being able to digivolve your whole opponent's field and then just delete all their level 4s or lower. Super strong. And then into your opponent's turn, it deletes all the opponent's Digimon at the lowest play cost. So this, it just repeatedly gets more and more value here. This format, with the Shoutmon decks just filling up their field full of Tamers. Death Exmon, we're going to see this in every deck ever. If you have a Death Exmon, put it in your deck. Whatever deck you're playing, put at least 2 Death X Mons if you can into your deck, whatever it is, okay? I do have the one Susanomon in here just for those long grindy games, whether that be the mirror match or the yellow-purple security control match, which is also very grindy. Susanomon just being able to fill our deck back up with all of our stuff. If you're going to play a hybrid deck, that's really grindy, I think Susano's a must, and Yellow Hybrid's really the only grindy deck, so this is really the only deck we ever see Susano actually still being used. So I do have it at the 1 of still, though, just because of those niche situations where he does come up. If you know me, I'm not a big fan of 1-ofs unless it's like format limited to 1. I have no choice. I'm not a big fan of 1-ofs, but I think 1 of Susano is still fine. Sunrise Buster, we've already talked about how incredible it is when you get to play it for free, but even if you don't get to play it for free, it's still very, very powerful. Fireball, just for more draw power, this card served me really well in all the previous formats with EX2 and then BT9. You know, this card has been really, really good, either to draw 2 whenever I need more draws, or just to deleting 3000 DP, like just pop a rookie, you know, a memory blocker, something like that, something just kind of in the way, 2 memory to pop essentially a security check that was coming through. I'm all for it. Crimson Blaze, I still love working this card in because one, this card is almost always just gonna be 5 or less. Okay, typically you want to play it when there's 2 targets on field, so it's like a 4 play cost. Delete everything with 6000 DP. Against matches like Reaper. Reaper on your turn, all their stuff is super weak. You just drop a Crimson Blaze and just blanket wipe their field, except for Mother, of course. Blowout card in the right matchups. Any sort of deck that likes to go wide with like low-level Digimon, because going wide with high-level is kind of difficult unless you're like Megazoo. Crimson Blaze just blows those decks out. So I want to keep working Crimson Blaze in just because I think it's a really fantastic card. I did put the Holy Flames in here. I haven't been an overly big fan of this one before, because it was really reliant on, well, you just gotta kind of hope it gets hit in security. If maybe it happens. With Sakuyamon Maid Mode, letting me play this from hand and put it straight into security, absolutely, I want this card in this deck. 2 play cost yellow, which is right in where Maid Mode fits in. So we get to play the Holy Flame here for free, which, on play, one of your opponent's Digimon gains secure deck -3. Okay, that's solid. Like against a Black War Greymon, Gowmon deck, sure, let's Holy Flame that big boss monster, that's fine. But in security, all of your opponent's Digimon gain secure deck -1. Same thing Venusmon does, where it's just a big blanket the whole turn, for the rest of the turn once it gets hit in security. So being able to guarantee I can put this card from my hand into security off of Maid Mode makes this card absolutely 100% worth running. I do have it at a 3 of here, simply because I don't know what else to cut for it. I debated running 4 of it, but there's just not really much else to cut. I can maybe drop the Shakuamons down by 1 and do that, but I think 5 level 5s and 4 megas feels right, and there's just not really much else to cut out. Maybe you cut a Tamer down by 1 to work it up, but it's just 3 of definitely, though. Reinforced Memory Boost, also still a fantastic card. Just any sort of security control deck where you get to look at 2 and like, oh, let me put this option in there, let me put this Tamer in hand, or this level 4 in hand. Being able to pick and choose is great, and then delay gain 3. Big blowout turns. When you get to pop this off and just shoot up to 6 or higher because of your reinforce, yeah, you're gonna have a big fantastic turn. Tai and Kari, I love this card, not only because it's red yellow, so we can work in a lot of red options. It's not because of that, because we've already got the red babies covering that aspect. It's just this is an excuse for me to go offensive early. If I'm playing TK and Kari, if my security is lower than my opponent's, I gain memory. But in a deck that likes to recover early game, you can instantly get yourself up to 6 or 7 security, and then that card is just completely dead. Tai and Kari, though, I can start recovering early and then immediately go on the offensive. With all these cards I'm digivolving, my Gilmon, I can swing early game with Gilmon for a security check. Swing for with a hybrid for another security check. That puts my opponent at 3 security for the rest of the game. My Tai and Karis will always be giving me memory. That's great. And then also, just whenever I swing into security, suspend them to minus 2k to the security Digimon. Like I was talking about, Gilmon being able to survive super easily, as well as just everything else being able to survive super easily. Really, really big fan of Tai and Kari. Absolutely. Kari herself here is our main memory fixer. Usually it's TK that's our main memory fixer in the past, but because of course, the changes to the deck, not being able to run 4 Jet Sylphies anymore, we really need to be able to gain that memory back off the when we go into Shakuamon. So I think early game Karis are going to be a must, so I want to see this card as early as game as possible, as well as I don't feel bad having multiples out. If I can get 2 Karis in play, I'm going to feel really, really good. Yeah, nothing else to say about it. I do still have the 3 Zoes. I was trying out 4 initially, but honestly, with the loss of Jet Sylphie, as much as it is, we have so few targets for Zoe now. Like, we literally almost lost a third of our targets in one swoop. So she kind of lost a little bit of value there, but she still is a 3 play cost, which is still cheaper than all of our other Tamers. And then also being able to just get a peek at our security to make sure that it's safe for our TKs to go in, because we do play a fair amount of reds in this deck, reds, whites, blacks, purples. So getting a free peek with Zoe first, and then start slamming down our TKs, and then TK pulling out all that extra stuff that we can, use, like our hybrids or our megas. TK having great value there. Yes, he is also a memory fixer as well, but Kari is our main memory fixer. TK is just here to pull our megas and our like Shakuamons out of security. That's TK's main job, and that's the total of the deck. Now, I want to talk about Atomic Inferno. This card was super popular in JP, but why was it popular in JP? Remember, in JP format, when this set came out, Jet Sylphie was still at 4. This deck was huge about going into Jet Sylphie, playing Atomic Inferno, giving her security attack +1, plus 3000 DP, swinging into security, activating your Tai and Karis. Essentially, your Jet Sylphies were like 14, 16k, swinging into security with security attack +1. So it was really great for that format for them. So yeah, Atomic Inferno was like a 2 of in like every yellow hybrid deck, which made sense with cards like Jet Sylphie, but now a little bit less so. I ended up cutting it in favor of this more recovery focused, like Shakuamon, Kari centric deck. If you want to work it in, maybe it would be a better play for like the Rise Greymon package or something like that instead. But I really like the recovery aspects. That's why I stuck with the Shakuamon. There is definitely some argument for some sort of aggro potential here with the Atomic Inferno. Still a really cool card. When you can work it with Tai and Kari, yeah, I really like it a lot. So there is room to look at it, but I think for the way I like to play, we'll go with the first 50 cards here and drop the Atomic Inferno. And that is the total of the deck. I love this deck so much. I will continue to play this as long as I possibly can until it is just absolutely dog water. And then I'll just switch to another security control deck. But yeah, this is my baby. Every set I want to update this and make it better and better and better. It's done wonders for me so far, so I hope to see it do wonders for me moving ahead.